Lesson 87, skill drawing of word problems, and the appendix lesson that goes along with it, substitution. In the picture here, you can see a scale drawing of a house. It gives you a scale factor, 2 inches to 5 feet. So 2 inches is the same as 5 feet. We're going to use proportions to help us solve these. So first off, scale drawings. It's just a smaller representation of a much bigger object. Smaller units of measurements correspond to larger units of measurement of the actual object. So that's why you use the scale factor. It's important for architectural designs because you can't put a whole house, the actual design, on a piece of paper. So they use a scale factor to convert from the drawings to the actual building. So let's look at a sample problem 1. Mary sketched a scale drawing of her dream garden using 1 inch to represent 2 feet. Letter A, if the drawing of the garden is 8 inches long, how long will Mary's garden be? So I need to convert 8 inches to feet. So the scale factor is 1 inch, the same as 2 feet. How long will it be if it's 8 inches long? Well, to go from 1 inch to 8 inches, I multiplied by 8, so I got to multiply this 2 by 8 to get what n is. N would have to equal 16 feet. So 8 inches on the drawing would be the same thing as 16 inches in real life. Second part, if Mary's garden is to be 12 feet wide, how wide should the drawing be? Again, we have 1 inch is the same as 2 feet. And says it's supposed to be 12 feet wide. How wide is it in inches on the drawing? So here, if I multiply it 2 feet by 6, that will give me my 12. So 1 times 6 will give us our n. So our n would have to be 6 inches. So they're just setting up ratio. You can also set up ratio boxes to help you set these up. Next one, a map is drawn with a scale of 1 inch is the same as 8 miles. 2 towns, 2 3/4 inches apart on the map are shown. On the map are how many miles apart? So just like any other map, you have a map scale on the bottom. It tells you how many inches is 1 mile, or how many miles is 1 inch. Here they're telling us that 1 inch is 8 miles. So if it's 2 3/4 inches apart, I'm going to break that down, or put that as an improper fraction. So I have 2 times 4 is 8 plus 3 would be 11. So we have 11/4 of an inch. And if 1 inch is 8 miles, we need to multiply this by 8. When I do that, I can simplify here. 4 divided by 4 is 1, 8 divided by 4 is 2. That would give us 22 miles. Another way of thinking of that is if I took the 8 times 2, which will give us 16, and then we have 8 times 3/4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, 8 divided by 4 is 2, 2 times 3 is 6. Then add our 2 answers and you still get your 22. Mariah is making a scale drawing of her apartment. Her apartment measures 36 feet long and 30 feet wide. She wants the drawing to fit on an 8.5 inch by 11 inch piece of paper. Which of the following would be a good scale for Mariah to use? So if we look at our choices here, we have 8.5 inches. I cannot have more than 36 feet. So if to go from 8.5 inches, I would have to convert that to the feet, but using one of these scale factors. So if I did 1 inch is the same as 2 feet, 8.5 times 2 would give me 17. I have some room still to go. I have to get as close to 36 as possible. 8.5 times 3 would give us 25. So I can get closer than that. 8.5 times 4 gives us 34. That is pretty close. So the correct answer would be 1 inch is the same as 4 feet. Next one, Edmund wants to convert the attic to living space. He has made a skill drawing. 1 inch is the same as 16 feet of his plans. What are the dimensions of bedroom 2, excluding the closet? So the bedroom 2, that's this one right here. We're not including the closet here. So we are going from here to here. So that's 1 inch. And from here, looks like to here would be 1 inch. This bottom part, like the room would end right here, but this is the 1 inch mark right there. So we're about 3/4 of an inch right here. So 1 inch by 3/4 of an inch. Since 1 inch is 16 feet, we would multiply this by 16. That would give us 3 times 4, which is 12. So we would have a 16 by 12 foot wide room. And then find the actual length and width of bedroom 1, excluding the closet. So here we have 1 inch, and over here, excluding the closets. And if we look at the closet parts, so here's the part. So this is the halfway point. So we would round that to, we could say that one would be say this about 5/8. So we have 1 inch by 5/8 inch. We're going to multiply everything by 16. So we have 16 feet. Here I can divide this by 2 or by 8, and I get 5 times 2, which would be 10 feet. So this smaller bedroom would be 16 by 10. And our last slide, if y equals, or x equals y minus 3, find y in 2x plus 3y equals 39. So we are using substitution here. If this is what x equals, I can substitute this in for x so I can solve for y. So I have 2 times y minus 3 plus 3y equals 39. The whole goal when you're using substitution is to make sure you only have one variable. So here I'm just having y, so I can solve for y. So now I just distribute. So I have 2y minus 6 plus 3y equals 39. And combine my y's, so 2y plus 3y is 5y. Minus 6 equals 39. To get 5y by itself, I add 6 to both sides. And now I have 5y equals 45. Divide by 5 on both sides to get y by itself. And I have y equaling 9. So that would be our answer. The other one, if y equals x minus 2, find x in 3x minus 2y equals 12. So if this is what x or y equals, I substitute that in for y in the other equation. So I have 3x minus 2 times x minus 2 . This will equal 12. So now I can distribute. Remember, I got to distribute a negative 2. So I have 3x minus 2x Negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4 equals 12. Combine like terms, I have an x plus 4 equals 12. Subtract 4 on both sides, x would equal 8. So that is our lesson today on scale drawing, word problems, and using substitution.